am Shay Lennon. This is my husband, Sean. We're both personal trainers. He's a coach. I am a certified health coach. We've been doing this for years, served our community for a long time, and we really have a passion for all things fitness and wellness as well. We're here to talk to you a little bit about the test that you're going to have to take.
Yeah, so the first step in advancing your training and serving, protecting, and making your community a better place is passing the basic minimum requirements. So push-ups, sit-ups, and running, right? And we're going to help demonstrate some of these moves and have a program for you. If you're just starting off in fitness and wellness, great. We have a whole regiment of tips and things that'll help you get there. If you're already advanced, maybe we learn something in breathing techniques and meditation. So
absolutely. So first of all, we thank you for wanting to do this. It's a huge service. It only makes our state better. It makes all of our communities better. And it can also be a little bit nerve-wracking. So you've signed on, you're going to do this thing, and the reality is a lot of people don't pass. And they don't pass because they're not properly prepared. And when they're not properly prepared, it doesn't serve anyone. It doesn't serve the people that hired you, and it really doesn't serve yourself, and then we're lacking in our community. So one of our goals is to have you thinking a little bit about the ways that you self-sabotage.
Yeah, and owning, where your strengths are, and owning where your weaknesses may be. Understanding where you're at in both a mental and physical state is the key to wellness. So
first let's talk about self-sabotage. Most of us sabotage in 3 separate ways. Sometimes all 3. It just depends on what you're going through. The first way is the victim mindset. It gets hard. Training is hard. Learning something new is hard. And we fall into this pattern of thinking that we have it harder than everybody else. And when you fall into that pattern of thinking, you usually quit, or you stop, and you really truly believe that you don't have the skills to move forward. Nobody wants to be a victim. Nobody wants to think of themselves as a victim, but this pattern is super common. So watch out for when you feel like you have it harder than everybody else in your training for this program. The second way that we mess up is being all in or all out. And this is a perfectionist pattern, right? We want to do our best. We get rolling. The ball is moving really quickly. And then you screw up one day. And you don't train. And all of a sudden you just go, well, forget it. I wasn't perfect, so I'm just going to keep not being perfect and let it go. All in or all out is a detriment to yourself and to your training program. It's not going to look perfect. You're never going to be able to nail it every single day. So don't let one small derailment completely destroy your training. Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of adversity, both, preparing for this fitness test and throughout your training at the police academy. You're going to hit walls. You're going to fall in pits. You're going to have lots of highs and lots of lows. And dealing with those is what we're going to try to help you do.
Absolutely. And the third way that most of us self-sabotage is by procrastinating. So if you know you have this test coming up and you're 10 weeks out or you're 8 weeks out and you think you have plenty of time and you don't take action, this is procrastination. What procrastination does is it puts off perceived failure. So then, hey, maybe you start working out about 2 weeks before the test. You fail it, then you have an excuse. I didn't even try, you guys. I didn't even train for it. You're putting off perceived failure. And when we're procrastinating, you're actually telling yourself all of the time, I'm probably going to fail, so I'm not even going to engage and take action. That is a detriment, again, to your own progress, to your training. And it's a general self-sabotage technique. We don't want to go there. You have to be completely 100% accountable for your own actions, starting today until the time this test comes.
And you'll hear this not just from me, and I hope you look it up, extreme ownership. Owning exactly that, your pitfalls, but also your strengths. And if you are failing, there's nobody else more accountable than you.
It's nobody else's fault, right? And sometimes looking in the mirror and knowing that you're the one not taking the action is the hardest part to do. So we ask you to be 100% accountable to yourself, because once that you are, you can then be accountable to your community, you can be accountable to our state, and you can be accountable to the people that you need to be when you come into training.
So what do you do when you do hit that pit? When you fall in that pit of, whatever, self-gluttony? I mean, for myself, I pound the sugar and not do anything. Well, how do you rekindle it? You can do that for a day. Okay, what do you do to get out of that? I mean, myself, I'll listen to podcasts, I'll listen to books, I'll find something motivational to listen to. Those are huge for me to continue my upward trend. You're gonna have hills. You're gonna have downward hills. You're gonna have just flat out walls you're gonna hit. How do you, and really everyone's different. Everyone needs something different. There's not one approach that's gonna work for everyone. And finding your approach to and preparing yourself to get out of that pit or overcome that wall is key to succeeding in anything, not just this program, but in life.
Right, and a big thing to always circle back to is, what do you want? You obviously want a job serving and protecting and working in our awesome state. And why do you want it? You have to be really crystal clear on why you want it. If you know these two things, what you want and why you want it, when you fall down in that hole, you can come back to that to bring you back up out, get remotivated, do what works for you. It might be taking a walk. It could be looking at the WLEA website. It could be talking to somebody that's in the profession that you look up to. Find your mentors and use them.
So a lot of different things that is going to be thrown your way, but one is an exercise regimen, right? And an 8-week program. And in this program, there's going to be a lot of physical exercise too, but there's also a lot of mental exercises involved as well. Meditation being a big part of this, breathing exercises being a big part of this. Not only just for the physical side, I mean, not only does it improve your physical state, it improves your mental state, which we all know in law enforcement you need both.
You need to have the ability to rest and to truly rest so that you can process everything that you're going through. In our culture, we don't often let ourselves slide all the distractions away and rest, but when we can do that, the focus can come in and you can, again, get clear on where you're going and why you want to go there. So breathing techniques like Wim Hof is a really cool breathing technique to help improve your cardiovascular, improve your oxygen saturation, and also improve your confidence when you start holding your breath for a long time. So you're going to see in the program too that once a week we really ask you to do breathing, and we ask you to sit and meditate. Meditating is not easy, right? So find something guided, something that you can listen to. You can walk and meditate without holding anything or listening to anything in your ears. Just make sure that it is reasonable for you, actionable for you, and that you're taking a break, finding true rest.
Hello, my name is Jesse Curtis. I'm the Deputy Director here at the Academy, and we're honored to have Shay and Sean here to help us provide some type of material for you as you start, before you even get to the Academy. I just wanted to reiterate a little bit of what Shay and Sean were talking about beyond the physical training aspects of the PT test. Shay, you mentioned the 3 ways we self-sabotage. And here, those turn into expectations of performance. So as they talk about how to keep from making yourself a victim, you're going to face a lot of adversity here at the Academy. We do that intentionally as part of the curriculum. And the primary thing we're asking for is that you don't quit. You don't take that all or nothing mindset. Nor do you think it's any harder for you than it is for anyone else, because you're going to have a whole class full of classmates that are suffering alongside you. So really take the time to practice not only the physical aspects of this PT program, but also the some of the more mental mindset type activities that go along with this. You're the only one that can bring yourself out of that victim mindset. If you quit here, you can. We don't draft anybody here. However, there's a consequence for that, and that is you don't graduate. You don't get your certificate. You can't serve in the community. So
Nobody likes to fail.
nobody likes to fail, and you're going to fail here often, and that's the paradox. Is
Right.
You're going to succeed through failure. So it shouldn't be comfortable. It'll never be comfortable, but it's a process of learning. Very important for deep understanding, long-term retention, whatever you want to call it. So if you are a procrastinator, please set that behavior aside, at least for the next 2 months before you get here, and then while you're here. The operational tempo here is extremely high. There's no spare time for anything. So we are going to be requiring you to do tasks, a lot of tasks. All of them have deadlines, and the expectation is that you meet those deadlines. If you tend to procrastinate, those are going to pile up. We want you to be free and clear and focused so that you can do your best here. Okay, so there's 3 activities that you're going to be required to do on the initial PT test. We're going to demonstrate 2 of these. The first one is the push-up, and you notice that Sean, for males, he's on his hands and his toes. Once we start the activity, you'll have to remain on your hands and toes throughout. You may place your hands widthwise wherever you wish. The point is that you have to go all the way down and touch the noodle, and you have to come all the way back up. You do not have to lock your elbows out. However, you need to have full extension. Notice also that Sean is planked out. His backside's not coming up. He's not in a V position. He is straight from the top of his back through his legs. In the event that you need to rest, we would rest in the up position for this exercise, not the down position. If you rest in the down position, meaning your knees touch, any other part of your body touches, then you'll be done, and that'll be the final count. To do it from the side, again, you see he's coming down. He's touching the noodle is at the center of the chest line here. We will have you tuck your shirts in during the test, just so that we can see that and get an accounting for it. But that is the protocol for the push-ups for males. For the ladies, it's the same activity with the exact same protocols. Shay's going to come in and demonstrate. The exception is that the ladies may do push-ups from their knees if they wish. And it does not matter if they cross their feet or leave their feet in an open position. But you notice the same thing. The width is variable. She's coming all the way down and touching the noodle with the center of her chest. And she's in a plank position. She's not bowing or moving her backside up as she goes down. Everything else is the same, resting in the up position, and once any other parts of the body hit the ground, the exercise is finished. So this is the protocol, the general protocol for the push-up activity. Next, we'll do sit-up activity. You want to hold those feet. For sit-ups, it's gender neutral. Doesn't matter if it's male or female. It's the same protocol. You notice as Sean goes up, his elbows are touching his knees. And as he comes down, at least his shoulder blades are touching the mat. You don't have to make contact with your head or anything like that, but you do have to bring your back to the mat. You also notice that his hands are positioned at his ears or behind. We don't recommend that you lock your hands behind your head because it puts a lot of pressure on your neck. Right now he's grabbing the side of his neck, which is fine as well, as long as those hands don't start coming ahead of the ears. The last piece on this is we will not count sit-ups where he thrusts his hips. So if his hips start coming off the mat and he starts using that as momentum, typically we'll give you one warning and then we'll start not counting those sit-ups. As with push-ups, if he's going to rest, he can rest in the up position, he can rest just like that, it's fine. Can't rest in the down position.
So, you know the standards, you know what you need to do, you know you're the accountable one, you have to own this. And if you don't, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work.
Yeah, so you have undoubtedly looked up how fast you have to run, how many sit-ups you have to do, and how many push-ups you have to do. We're asking you to go above and beyond those limits. So we have an 8-week program for you. There is a schedule. You're responsible for figuring out what exercises you're going to be doing. We have suggestions. And we also have mindset piece for you, breathing, meditation, and a little discussion each week about how your training should be going.
Yeah, so as you go through the 8-week program that we've laid out, be creative, but own it. There's going to be walls, there's going to be blocks, there's going to be things that you're going to have to overcome. Injury is a part of that.
Nobody's going to get you there but you.